Hello, my friends. Anna King here, and in this video, I want to talk about embodiment. What does that mean? Why is it important? And what does it look like when it comes to health? So this is a part 2 of the last video when we talked about why nutrition is nuanced and why we need to become embodied in order to know what our body needs, in order to have even a sense of what direction to go. So the first thing I want to say here is that this is all built on this idea that you have been given an inner compass for your health. You have within you a guidance system that's giving you a sense of your direction for your health. So we know that there's no one size fits all diet. There's no one size fits all protocol for healing or for wellness. What we're looking at really is learning how to take those cues from our body, from our nervous system, and really learn how to tune into and understand and interpret these signals that we're getting. So in the last video, we talked a little bit about, when we're trying to make decisions, how difficult it can be to make decisions when things feel confusing on the inside. So you're trying to tune into your intuition and you're feeling like, man, when I try to tune in, the radio signal is fuzzy. I'm not getting a clear signal. And if I do get a clear signal, I really don't know what to do. And so this is the purpose or the thing that we want to do and I talk a lot about this in all of my work and all of my courses, is we want to clear as much as we can the toxic stuff, the fuzzy radio signals that we're getting, the toxic foods, the things that create dysregulation in our nervous system, the trapped emotions, all those things that create that sort of confusing message, so that bit by bit we can learn how to get a clearer message and then thereby follow that message. So, for example, you might be trying to tune into, what do I eat? What is my body needing in terms of food? Well, if your body's addicted to processed foods, to those addictive substances that come in lots of processed foods, then when you tune into what does my body need, you're going to get a wrong signal. But the more that you have done your cleansing and detoxification work, the more that you are eating the real, live, whole foods that are that your body's wired for, the more you're getting a correct signal. And remember, symptoms are the language of the body. So anytime we experience physical symptoms, that's the body trying to tell us something is off. This is not right for you at this time. Triggers are also just information about emotions that have been trapped in our body, beliefs that have not been processed, memories that have not been processed. But the more that they are processed, the clearer the signal is. So I find for people that when they undertake the cleansing work and they are doing their best to really clear as much, it doesn't have to be perfect, just do as much clearing and cleansing work as they can for their physical bodies, so there's not so much junk kind of like messing up and gumming up the system. And when they work on their nervous system to calm the stress response and to really like tap into these deeper centers of intelligence, then the signal becomes clearer. Now, there are different centers of intelligence inside of your system. So we have lots of different centers, but I'll just talk about 3 of them. 3 of them are, of course, your thinker, which is your frontal lobe thinking mind. That is a processor of information. You have the center of intelligence, that's the heart, that's the feeler, the center of gratitude, of wholeness. And then you have your gut center, and that's the knower. Is what I call the knower anyway. So that gut center of intelligence is that inner compass that kind of gives you a sense of like, yep, I need something here, or I feel a little bit off about that. And how many times have you observed in your lifetime that you had a sense, like a gut level knowing, and you went for it and you were so glad that you did? Or you had a gut level sense to not do something and you did it anyway and you wish you hadn't. So many of us deal with this where we are sort of fighting that inner knowing, but if we can just learn how to work with it and surrender to it and take cues from it, This is actually a super important part of our wellness, of that inner compass that's giving us a direction, not just for our wellness, but also for our life. So I believe that God has given every person the wisdom on how they need to thrive. And the clearer your body is, and the calmer your nervous system is, the easier it becomes. And really, that's what it means to be embodied. So the wisdom that we're looking for is not up here in the head. This is just a processor of all that information. The wisdom for the body is deeper. It's in the body. And when we become embodied and we can feel and not just think and analyze and rationalize up in our head, but we can actually tune into the signals that we're getting, the sensations, we can learn to interpret them through the work that we're doing. Then it becomes so much easier. Life becomes so much more in flow. Decisions are not anxiety producing. You don't feel like you're ping ponging all the way around in your head all the time. You feel like, oh yeah, I have a sense, or I know. It becomes so much easier. So I hope that this has been helpful for you in understanding a little bit more about embodiment, learning how to tune into in decision making, what decisions to make and what center does it come from. So we want to use the mind as a processor. It's a very important processor. We also want to use this gut wisdom, this inner knowing as that inner compass. So a question that you can ask yourself, just to wrap up here, a question you can ask yourself when you're making a decision: is this decision coming just from my thinking mind, my logical thinking mind, or is it coming from a deeper place within me, a deeper knowing? The body will actually kind of move towards something that it's wanting. This gets into kind of muscle testing, which we won't get into in this video, but it'll also move away from something that's not right for it. So you'll have this sense, and it's subtle body cues, but you'll have a sense of, okay, yeah, this is coming from a deeper place of knowing versus this is my intellectual or conscious mind just logically making a decision. So when we use all these different centers of intelligence and we are more in our bodies, again, decision making becomes so much easier and there is so much more flow. And I think you're gonna just love it as you step more deeply into it. I hope this video has been helpful, and sending you all lots of love.